keep talking about Harrison because it's really important to me. It means a lot to me. The person, the idea, the story, the sentiment, the most sentiment being that he came from a time before my insanity, before the Truman Show, before this twisted, messed up reality that has happened. He came from a time before that, and I knew him at that time. But I realized that it was still a Truman Show. Or was it? I think it was, not to the degree it is now. Because the insanity has just been going up and up and up and up. So, but now I believe that Harrison can read my mind. Well, anyone can read my mind. They can read my mind. But sometimes I think that people can hear my thoughts. It's true. And I don't know how they do it. It's just a magic trick. There's nothing more to it. If you want to stop what I'm doing, you want me to feel anxious, then all you gotta do is just read my mind, and I'll freak out and I'll panic. And I'll feel embarrassed and stupid probably. But if you don't want to do that, then please don't. You don't have to. I've decided that I'm now mature enough and responsible enough to handle the communication, and I no longer need people to monitor me 24/7, read my mind 24/7. Imagine a computer, an app somewhere that can just record all the words that I say in my head as I say them, all the syllables and stuff, and then they try to piece together what I'm thinking about, and they can read my brain waves and different states of excitation, and using like some pretty basic like logic, they can figure out what I'm thinking about 100% of the time. They know what I'm dreaming about. I'll have a dream. This used to happen to me in high school. I'll have a dream. I go to school the next day. People are talking about my dream. I shit you not. Like I would walk in. I remember like the one time this stood out the most, because this happened all the fucking time. But one time, I had like a nightmare. I had like a literal nightmare. I went to school and they were reenacting my nightmare from last night in school. It was about art class. I went into art class, and I forget what happened. Like I fell out of a chair, or I was like the only one like standing up, and like I hurt myself or hurt somebody. And then the next day in art class, like it was the exact thing that happened in my nightmare. Like it was insane. I don't even remember what it was about. I don't remember the dream. All I remember is that I had the dream. I went to school. And people were fucking reenacting that shit, dude. Um, but even if they don't reenact it, they can like they can say like words, um, like the symbols and stuff that I saw in my dream. They'll just they'll start saying those words, and I'll see like items and objects, like what am I talking about? Like I'll be driving to school, and there'll be like, I don't know, a car next to me that's like the same car I saw in a dream or something. That's a bad example. Um, it's hard to explain. Like it's hard to even like explain my own thought process sometimes. And so, what's my point? I'm trying to describe my schizophrenia experience, my experience being schizophrenic. Um, yeah, and it's scary because I think I have telepathic powers between. Um, okay, let's just say that in 2015, when I was at Maria's house, her dad was like subduing me because I shouldn't have been there. Um, but the weirdest part is that I was pinned down on the ground for like 10, 15, felt like 10 or 15 minutes, felt like a while. I don't know how long it was. But I remember I started having a conversation inside my own head to him. And I was telling myself like, this isn't happening. This isn't real. There's like another voice in my head. It's like it's not another voice that I hear. It's like another source of dialogue coming from Maria's dad. And that reminds me of another time when I was in 11th grade, APUSH in 2014. And I was sitting behind Maria, and I was thinking, was I thinking people were reading my mind at that point? No. I knew something was up. Something weird was happening, but nobody was reading my mind. Except I started like yelling at Maria inside my head because I thought she could hear my voice. And then I started like, I told her, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. Like over and over. And probably some other stuff, but the point I'm trying to get across is that she actually turned around. She turned around and looked at me after I said that in my head, like, is she reading my mind? Is somebody reading my mind? Is it a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. Yes, they're reading my mind. No, no one gives a fuck what I think. Yes, this is about me being crazy, blah, 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 but I'm not crazy. I'm on psychedelic drugs and I'm mentally ill or something. Is that the moral of the story? No, that's not the moral of the story. Um, the moral of the story is that people have mind powers. People can read my mind. That's the moral of the story. And I'll have like imaginary conversations with people that I know, and it'll feel like it's actually happening. It doesn't feel like I'm imagining the things they say. It feels like, the intrusive thoughts, like I'll just have these conversations, and I don't know. But I recall other instances where Maria's dad would read my mind. Like there were the times when I went over to her house. I probably went over there like 4 or 5 times. I don't know. And he would be wearing exactly what I was wearing. You see what I'm saying? Like, uh, but that's not the weird part. I didn't even notice until like years later. That every time I went over there, he's like wearing like a mirror image of my outfit or whatever. But that's not even the weird part. I just thought I'd bring it up. So the weird part is that he can read my fucking mind. The whole time I'm like, I just feel really uncomfortable. I don't feel like I'm recalling all the times I talked to him and Maria's mom Cheryl, and the way I recall it was there were lights and cameras and directors and cinematographers, and it was just all set up. It was all set up. So yes, I'm very stupid, and I'm moving very on as soon as I can. So I guess the point that I'm trying to make um so what's the point I'm trying to make? What do I want? I don't want I don't want anything. I don't personally want anything from those people. And I think that um, Maria's parents are they were interesting to talk to. I'm not entirely sure why this shit happened. I'll never know. I'm telling you, I'll never know. I've had all these conspiracy theories. I've had all these ideas. I'm trying to sort out hierarchies, what's more important, what matters. None of this shit matters. This doesn't explain everything. What the fuck's going on? I just want to know what is happening and why is it happening, because I don't like this. I don't like this at all. No, that's not what it's about. So, I'll never know. Um I guess the most important thing I should know is that I'm sort of the writer. I need to like write my own life, what's going to happen, the the things I want to experience, to happen, to do. I'm in control of that, and it's all on me basically. Even the good things, the bad things, I wouldn't say it's all on me. I wouldn't say that anybody should have allowed this to happen. It should not have been allowed to happen. Um, but it's kind of funny to me to think about in retrospect, because like I made it like a big deal. It's not a big deal. Like the girl Maria, like the whole thing was based on this idea of like, I like Maria, I'm in love with Maria, but I didn't know why, I didn't know how, I didn't know what was going on, I didn't know what I was thinking, I didn't know what I was feeling. And the whole time, like, they're telling me like, okay, now you need to be jealous, now you need to be mad, now you need to seek revenge, now you need to get over it. Like the whole time I'm just like, I've had enough of this shit. I just want to leave. I just want to leave the set, go home, and fall asleep and forget about you, no offense, and basically everyone from Shorecrest. That's really what I want. That's really what I want. So, but it's so tragic because even the mean things I did, they were not out of anger or hate or spite. It's because I genuinely thought they were telling me, communicating to me, you need to act this certain way, you need to be this certain way, you need to feel this certain way. And that is just so wrong on so many levels. That is just so wrong. Like that's just so like unhealthy to my mind. That's just so toxic to my mind. I can't believe like I'm in like a I was just living in a nightmare for years and years and years and years. Since I was a little kid, since I was like 6 or 7, I went to sleep one night. I said, I kind of want to go to sleep. And I'm going to wake up when I'm like 22, 23, when I'm older. I just want to like simulate life, like, like in a sports game. Just fucking take me through all this time. I don't want to I don't want to fucking live it. I don't want to experience it, and just wake me up uh, when I'm 22, 23. That's really what it feels like. What happened? I don't think it was worth it. I don't think you should have like hurt me a lot by allowing this to happen, because a little kid does not really understand these things. But maybe I wouldn't have missed out on anything. Maybe if I didn't have a 15-year long nightmare, things really wouldn't have been any different. And it's sad, but it's so true. You can spend your time doing a lot of different things. You can spend your time doing whatever you want to do, but you don't get to go back in time and say, Well, now I'm upset because I did all of these things when I should have been doing all of these other things. You can say that about anything. You can say that about just about anything. And that is what a regret is.